And there we go. All right, guys, welcome to another live beer review. And once again, we've got Dean from Dean's Beer Reviews. So if you want to introduce yourself, my friend.
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm Dean's Beer Reviews. We do these hangouts now and again, me and Peter, where we do like a live review of a beer, which I'm looking forward to doing again. I'll let Peter sort of introduce the beer that we're going to be trying tonight.
All right, thank you very much. So, yeah, we were hopefully going to have a couple more people tonight, but it's surprisingly hard to get hold of. And I think Rod could have picked it up, but they'd sold out, which is always a shame. But as always, a few people end up coming in after the review, so it's all good. But yeah, today we're looking at the Erdinger Pikantus, which is a Weizenbock, and I've forgotten the ABV of it already. I've wrote it down and I can't read it on the label, but it's around 7.9%, I think. No, 7.3. And yeah, did a little bit of research. So of course, breweries from the Erdinger Weissbräu in Erding here in Germany. It's a Weizenbock, and I could be wrong about this one, but from what I've read, it was first brewed in 1968. And yeah, I've got a couple of like reviews from the usual like Rate Beer and Beer Advocate, which I won't talk about that now. I'll wait till we've actually tried it for ourselves. And yeah, I even looked up what the best rated Weizenbock is, so I'll let you all know, if anyone cares, at the end of the review. But yeah, Erdinger's, some of their beers are quite easy to get hold of in the UK, from what I remember. Like supermarket-wise.
Yeah, I mean their normal price beer. That's pretty much every supermarket in the UK. You can get that.
Yeah.
And a few sort of off licenses in small shops. Anything. I mean, this. I think I purchased this one from Beer Hawk. I think. I'm not too sure. I might be wrong there. It was one of the UK online stores. Which is one I've never seen before, and I'm a bit of an Erdinger fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I quite like their beers.
I mean, I had a bottle of this before Christmas because I knew that I could pick some up, so I thought, I'll give it a try. But I didn't really take too much notice of it because I wanted to try beer as fast as possible. But yeah, that was the first time for a long time that I've drank an Erdinger beer. And because being in Germany, there's, especially in Bavaria, there's so many different wheat beers out there, and I think Erdinger is probably one of the more macro sort of breweries, I suppose.
I'd sit this brewery along with the likes of Franziskaner.
Yeah.
That sort of level.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's not, not being disrespectful to the brewery, because like I say, I do like their beers. But, yeah, it's good quality German macro, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's what Germany does quite well, to be honest.
Yeah, they've got it down to the spot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you get stuff like Beck's, which isn't, the greatest. But it's actually not one of the worst of its type, I find. And being in Germany, they have so many different more variations on it compared to what you get around the world. So you get a little bit more. But yeah, it's like that. Some of the big, like Schneiderweiser, Paulaner Brewery, Franziskaner. They all do really good, high quality stuff, and the fact that you can get some of that in the supermarket is only a good thing. But I find it odd that you can get the alcohol-free version of Erdinger in supermarkets, because I think I saw.
Is that a blue label?
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, with it being an alcohol-free beer, it's probably a lot easier to sell than some of the other beers that they do, probably for the the names of them, because some people, I mean, I see some and I'm like, what does that even mean? I can't read it. So, but yeah, I think out of all the beers, the fact that you can get the alcohol-free, really readily available and quite cheap actually, but then stuff like this, you'd probably have to, like, you had to go into like your Beers of Europe, Beer Hawks, that sort of stuff.
I've seen the Schneider Weiss. They do an alcohol-free beer, don't they?
Yeah.
I've seen that in Beer Gonzo. I think it's literally just over £1 a bottle.
That's not too bad.
I know it's alcohol free and stuff, but I mean, if you're, say, the designated driver and you're going out on the lash, that's that sort of beer. I mean, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. You'd still get all that flavour.
Alcohol free rubbish.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's one of those things, though. I've never really tried many of the alcohol free sort of beers, especially not for review purposes, and I don't know why, because they're just as they've got their place just as any other beer, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Might be one for us to do in the future. Alcohol-free beer review of some kind of beer that we can both get.
Oh yeah.
Just out of curiosity, more than anything, probably.
But yeah, I'd love to do something like a live review of maybe like Pilsner Urquell or something like that. Which, so then it's not, because I think what you pay for Pilsner Urquell here is what you pay back in England. That always like plays a part with these reviews for me. It's like, I love doing these live beer reviews, but they've been German and I can pick up like 2 bottles for the price, so it'd be nice to even it out and go the other direction, because I've noticed that Beretta have got a couple more Beavertown beers that they never usually had, so but yeah.
Well, as you know, mate, but yeah, I'm on the same sheet as you with this. I absolutely love doing it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's just great. I love it.
Yeah, definitely, and it is a shame that a couple more people weren't able to join in as well.
Yeah, I was looking forward to Rod picking it up as well, because I spoke to him at the beginning of the week and he had sort of high hopes of getting a bottle.
Yeah.
And I think the messages started coming in yesterday or today about him struggling to get it, or it's been out of stock or something like that. And it would be nice to have an American's perspective on beer as well.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the beer at hand.
Yes.
So, it certainly looks the part in the bottle.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Definitely stands out. And yeah, there's the crown as well. But it's just iconic, that Erdinger logo.
Yeah, well, I've got
Erdinger glass, nice. I'm playing with the enemy tonight with the Schneider Weiss glass.
It'll be all right. Right.
Nice little bit of
smoke. Not a great deal.
Yeah. I've butchered that already.
Yeah, I might be going that way as well, mate. Any sort of glass resemblance? Oh, look at that! Bloody hell!
Oh, wow, that man's actually quite good, all things considered.
Right. Oh, it's going up slowly, he says.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to last long. Seems to.
Yeah, I do like that glass, but I get this every time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I was an aggressive pour. I don't know. It just goes absolutely bonkers in this sort of glass.
Yeah.
I probably haven't used this glass for probably going back in the summer when I had a wheat beer.
Oh yeah.
First outing, but it's doing exactly the same as what it did before. Bloody hell, never mind.
Oh wow. But you know, if you weren't recording, it would have poured absolutely perfect.
Oh yeah. That's sod's law, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll try and get an aroma off the neck of the bottle.
Yeah, I'll see what I can get. Not really getting too much on the neck.
No, not a great deal. Bit of toffee.
Yeah.
Malt.
I'm getting a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I've still got probably a 5-finger head on there, but I'm getting a nice spicy sort of wheaty smell.
Yeah, spicy, malty, a little bit of sweet, more like a caramel or a brown sugar. I'm getting I don't know if you're getting this, but I'm getting like a very slight savoury sort of aroma, almost like Worcester sauce. Just very, very slight though.
I'm picking up a really nice sweet spice.
Yeah.
Maybe a touch of clove.
Yeah, definitely getting a little bit of clove. I'm getting a fair bit of cinnamon and vanilla. But almost, and I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad thing on my end, but there's like ever so slight soapiness. Like you've got a flavoured soap sort of thing. But that could just be the cinnamon and vanilla that I'm getting.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, that sort of like Worcester sauce, soy sauce sort of vibe actually works quite well because of like the wheat malts.
Yeah, it smells absolutely lovely.
Yeah, it's got that like real warming sort of aroma to it. I mean, to compare it to a beer that we've both on the last one, was it the Aventinus or the Hopfenweizen that we did last time?
I think it was Aventinus.
Yeah, it's not as aromatic as that or in your face, but it's still really nice.
Yeah, beautiful aromas from it.
It's quite nice how mellow it is, actually.
I'm getting a tad of the booze, but it's all sort of mingled nicely with what else is in there.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Even though I'm picking up some what people think like weird flavors, all things considered, I think everything in there works perfectly together.
Yeah.
There's nothing offensive or like out of place. And you can still get that wheatiness about it as well.
Yeah, that's definitely in there. That's for me the most easiest aroma to pull out of it. That might be a cop out, but that's the most prominent.
Yeah,
and then lovely. Yeah, I think I'll run with what you're saying, like with a cinnamon, clovey, spicy thing going on, and that's definitely in there. Big malt characteristics to it.
Mm-hmm.
Toffee, maybe a bit of caramel.
Yeah, it's got that like dunkel sort of aroma as well in there, playing around.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the bottle it's got Dunker Weizenbock.
Yeah, that's True, I think it is sort of like, from what I read, I should have had all the rights in front of me, but I think it's like,
So
it's described as, like, obviously because it's like a coming between the two styles almost. And I could definitely see a case for that, to be honest.
Well, I'm ready to tuck in, mate. I don't know about you.
Yeah, same here. Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
Yeah, straight away, that doesn't taste like a 7.3% beer.
No way.
No.
Oh, that's divine. That really is divine stuff.
It's not heavy either. It's got like a slight velvetiness to it, almost like a
smooth.
Yeah, smooth, almost as if there's lactose in there.
Yeah,
but very slightly.
I mean, cutting through that head. I mean, because I don't know about yours. Left now, thankfully. It's got a beautiful creamy consistency to it.
Oh yeah,
and that hits your mouth.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you just look at the top, and that's you wouldn't think that was like the head of the beer. It's like so not foamy. It's so creamy, like genuinely creamy. Sort of like a malted cream, if anything like that exists.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with this so far. Drinkable as well. Again.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not in your face.
Going back to that last review that we did.
Yeah.
That was a dangerous beer. That was, and this more or less along them same sort of lines, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is maybe a little bit more tamer than the last one we had.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of warming now coming up, but nothing over the top.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm not getting the warming yet, but I think as the more I drink it, then obviously the more I'm gonna tend to feel it. But
there's a nice, for me as well, I'm getting a really nice, almost milkshakey banana.
Yeah, definitely getting that banana milkshake vibe from this one.
Maybe more like sort of cream banana, but the banana's in there.
Yeah, almost like a banana flavoured milk. But yeah, you get that like slight spiciness from the wheat malt.
Yeah.
As well, which is a really nice touch. And then
a nice little that sort of, it dances on the tongue, doesn't it? That spiciness.
Yeah. And it doesn't leave too much of a lining on your mouth after you've taken a sip. Which sometimes actually I like that when it's so sticky on your mouth. But this is a little bit more gentle. It just feels nice. It's just the smoothness of it. From first pouring it in to it going down. It's just amazingly drinkable.
Got lovely, a lovely wave of carbonation going up mine. You probably ain't going to pick it up on the camera, but
not seeing much carbonation. Oh yeah, again, more towards the. No, I don't think I'm in potato vision.
Yeah, just a lovely wave of carbonation going up there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is divine stuff. I'm really taken back by it. I wasn't expecting it to be awful anyway.
Yeah.
But this is probably the pick of their brews that they do for me. I wish it was more readily available.
Yeah, I could see this selling really, really well for a better price and being more available. Because it's got that extra bit of a special feel to it because of what it is. It's a Weizen Doppelbock or Weizenbock. So obviously it's a bit more, the recipe's a little bit more special, but that it's not too big of a jump from what you'd be able to pick up in the supermarket. So even people who are used to the milder Erdinger stuff, if they were to have this, it wouldn't be like, oh my god, what is this? I can't drink that. What's going on? It's really quite, that drinkability and the flavours, so well balanced. It is flavourful, but not overwhelming in any way.
Yeah,
so
it's a busy little beer, really, for me.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's not massively complex, but there's a lot going on in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a nice bit of toffee in there as well, caramelly toffee sort of thing in there.
Yeah, like a slightly darker sort of caramel, and really not intense, but like you've left the caramel in for a little bit too long without it getting burnt. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, dude.
I love the mouthfeel to it.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably the biggest thing for me, is just how it feels when you're drinking it. And I know there will be people out there who see the fact that it's an Erdinger beer, and you know, they may put their noses up at it, but you know, more fool them, because that is a very special beer. And especially on my side, where I think I paid just over like €1.20 for a bottle. You know, come on, it's like there's no reason why you wouldn't buy that on a semi-regular basis. And I'm not even.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, as you know, I'm not the biggest wheat beer fan, but this is one that I could have. You know, a couple of weeks, great for the weekend, that sort of thing. Great for when you're having like your roast dinner.
This would be, I mean, if you were sort of, I don't know, having a session on Pilsners or IPAs, this would be a perfect beer to finish the evening off with.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Because it's just got that little bit more about it. It's one of these, I don't know, it's just a really nice, comforting beer.
Hit the nail. It's just so comforting and so like relaxing.
Yeah, I'm completely taken back by it.
Yeah,
I paid a little bit more than what you did.
Oh yeah,
around the £3 mark, something like that, £3.50 mark.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it's expensive to the price that you pay for it.
Yeah.
But for me, that's a steal, even from this side of the pond.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's one of those things where I usually have a rule of not, when I'm back in England, buying German beers, because I know if I just wait a couple of weeks when I'm back in Germany, I can pick up these beers, you know, in abundance. But I'd happily, if I saw this in like one of the bottle shops, and I wanted a nice like German beer, I'd happily pick this up for like £3, especially when, you know, Schneider Weiss is maybe a little bit more expensive from what I've seen. And as much as I adore that beer, it's like one of my top 10 beers. This for me is just it's a casually drinking beer, but it's not a casual beer, if that makes sense. It's
no, I get what you mean there.
And it's one of the few times that I could justify paying that little bit extra to pick up.
Yeah,
because I've seen.
If you did a blind taste with this and a Schneider Weiss beer, and you said to the person in question that you were blindfolded, they're both Schneider Weiss beers, tell me what tap they are, or you know, something along them lines, they'll probably go 6 and 7 or 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This would pass as a Schneider Weiss beer.
Oh yeah, because I do think that Schneider Weiss, and you know, obviously no disrespect to the guys over at Erdinger. I think Schneiderweiser, for me personally, is the wheat beer brewery.
Yeah,
I mean,
they know what they're doing with that. That's their forte, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing that they do. I mean, I think you guys mentioned this beer when you did the beer coalition. Was it the Kustritska Schwarz beer?
Yes.
Yeah, for a long time that was pretty much the only beer that they did, but now they've started venturing off into different styles. I'm not sure if that's made its way to like the States or the UK, but I think when you like a brew like Schneiderweiser, you don't need to try and get a different market, because if you're good at it, stick to it. And I think Erdinger are purely a wheat beer brewery as well.
Yeah.
And if you do it well, don't change it. And I think, just two very outstanding breweries. And I think Erdinger is really underrated compared to most.
I completely agree with that. At the start of this hangout, their vice beer quite easily to pick up.
Yeah.
And I have in the past, quite quickly, when you have these £4 for £6 deals and there's nothing else, I've got one of them because I know what I'm getting. Yeah. It's a safe bet beer if you like that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I do. So for me, it ticks the box straight away. It's great beer.
Yeah, it's sort of like.
But yeah,
oh, sorry, dude.
Yeah, go on, mate.
I was going to say it's sort of like what the Hogarten is to like wheat beers.
Yeah.
Is what I'd consider, out of all of the wheat beers widely available, the Erdinger regular wheat beer. Because you know you're going to get a really high quality product, and like you're saying, you can get them now in like the £4 for £6 sorts of deals, and then you see other beers that are available in the European or international section, and you're like, no, I'm not going to pick that up again. And then you can end up picking up 4. Even if you bought 4 Erdingers for the £6, that's a really good beer, from what I remember anyway. It's been quite a long time since I tried the regular wheat beer.
I think the same could be said about Leffe in Belgium.
Yeah.
Maybe that's frowned upon, like this is.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably, it's safe to say that people do frown upon stuff like that, which is a shame.
Yeah, because it's still.
Because they might not have tried that beer, and they probably could change their mind about it if they tried that.
Yeah, I mean, every Leffe beer that I've tried, and bearing in mind this is just sort of the regular core range that you get in supermarkets now. I'm like, get a 750ml bottle of one of their beers. That's a perfect beer for an evening. You don't have to worry about.
Isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah. You can't complain about that. But then people go, oh, it's AB InBev. So they've not interfered with the beer. They've just got better distribution for it. From what I've heard from like yourself, when you were trying some of the, was it the IPA and the Christmas beer that you tried recently?
Yeah, I got a Christmas beer. No, that was the Anchor Christmas beer.
Oh, okay.
I might have had a Leffe Christmas beer. I know I got a few. It was triple.
Mm-hmm.
IPA. Oh, it might have been a Christmas beer. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah.
Beer de Noir. Yeah, it was. Really good beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, good beers. I didn't slag it off one bit. I enjoyed all 3 beers.
Yeah.
And I have in the past, I think, watching one of your videos way back, I think you did the Nectar.
Oh yeah, that was a lovely beer.
Yeah, like you say, £7.50 for £3. that's a nice sort of evening beer. You know, if you want to sit back and watch a film,
yeah,
that will occupy you for the duration of the film, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, there's just so much great stuff. I mean, I know we talk about these subjects, but we do like the beer tubers chats and stuff when there's more of us. But I know some people frown on the supermarkets because they'll use the argument, well, you don't know how fresh a certain beer is when you buy it from a supermarket. But I think supermarkets have a really good role in craft beer, actually. I think it's a great platform for some lesser known breweries to have their stuff on the shelves. And yeah, with stuff like Vocation, even though I can't say anything because I've yet to actually try a Vocation beer, people say, oh, the quality's dropped down considerably since they've gone to the supermarkets and stuff. But I've found from the stuff that I've picked up, both British breweries and international breweries, it's been just, you're almost overwhelmed and you're thinking, I can only pick so many beers here. You want to pick them all, but, it's almost the same, well, it's already the same range as what you get in like a specialty bottle shop. They're completely two different, ball games at the end of the day. But the range of stuff that you can get from your own country and internationally is just fantastic. Yeah, and you never really pay too much either for most of the stuff.
I'll have to agree with you regarding supermarket beers because I still buy them myself. I still like reviewing beers from supermarkets, whether it be, I mean, you do get a few hidden gems in certain supermarkets, and I think it's a regional thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know which way to go when I started doing this channel. To just sort of go full on craft, or keep it mixed.
Yeah.
Or try and keep it as mixed as possible. Not 50-50, but the way I'm going to be going. I don't get me wrong, I absolutely love craft beer. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
But I do like stepping back now and again and getting beer. I watched your video the other day. Which would be Dr. Thirsty, was it you did?
Yeah, Dr. Thirsty's.
Yeah. That's not a bad beer.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good beer, actually. I think that's probably one of, if not my favourite beer that they do. And I think it's actually, if you like hoppy beers, it's not obviously going to be as hopped as most craft beers, but you definitely get that hop character in there and the flavour.
And going back to that review, I would have to agree with you that ginger beers, I used to drink bloody bucket loads of that.
Oh yeah, that was a great beer. I have no idea why they discontinued that.
Super, I was going for a spell where I was drinking a bit of Krabby's. I like ginger beer.
Yeah.
And I was drinking this Krabby's stuff, and then this ginger beer popped up. This is probably going back about, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I bought a bottle of this Witchwood ginger beer, and I was actually taken back by it back then. And I used to buy it every week. I made a point of I had to go on the shopping list.
Yeah.
4 bottles of that every week. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, and then it just
disappeared.
Damn shame.
Yeah, I was really quite disappointed by that because I loved the few bottles that I managed to try, because I seem to only really start to like something moments before it's discontinued, and I was like, oh, damn. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone gave me a bottle of Krabby's, it's not the best ginger beer in the world, but it's still got a nice enough flavour.
Yeah, I must admit, I haven't had it for a very, very long while.
And that's same in.
the missus today, she bought a couple of flavoured ciders. Smirnoff have started doing bottled ciders.
Oh, really?
And it's sort of like pomegranate and summer and lemon, or I don't know. And she opened one earlier on, and I had a little sip of it. To me, it was just super, super sweet, and I couldn't get past anything else.
Yeah.
She enjoyed
I
it.
don't like it when they're really sweet. Yeah. Well, that's fair. It's always good to have something that when you find that one beer or alcohol drink that the other person likes, and you're like, I could always get a few when I buy stuff.
Yeah.
But I've still yet to find somewhere that stocks that Peroni.
Which one's that?
I'm not too sure of the name of it, but it's got a red label, I think.
Oh yes, yeah. They've got that in my local off license, and I looked at it. The other day, funny enough, and I thought, is this a new Peroni or rebranded? Because it was alongside the normal blue label stuff, and then next to that they had the double malt one, the Doppy malt or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a different beer then, is it?
I think so. It definitely, because the girlfriend brought back a bottle from when she was in Italy, because that was pretty much all she and her friends were drinking. And then brought a bottle back, and I drank it thinking, I used to drink the Peroni that you get in pubs quite a lot, which, to be fair, not the worst of these Euro lagers of that sort that are brewed in the UK. Not the worst, but you drink it now with all the stuff that you've drank since then, and it just doesn't really compare. So, yeah, when she brought that back and I tasted it, I thought, this is actually really quite nice, to be honest. And, it was the height of summer in Italy. Can't think of a more perfect drink.
Yeah. But yeah. With a beer like that, with that situation, and I was exactly the same when I was in Prague. It was just Pilsner Urquell on tap everywhere, and I was just taking advantage of that because it's cheap as chips.
Oh yeah.
You take your reviewing head off, and you just have it for the moment, and that's it. You don't have to analyse everything that you put down your throat, do you?
Yeah. Well, I've made it one of my rules to myself that I don't have to review every new drink that I try. I can buy myself a couple of beers and just drink them, not having to, pick it apart just to, as you drink it, obviously, go, oh, I love the fact that it's got this flavour, but not, just buying it. Because I've done this a few times, buying a beer purely with the review in mind.
Yeah.
I think I get into that mode every time when I'm back in England, especially with some of the more hype beers. It's like, it got to the point where I'm not interested in just enjoying the beer. I just want to have this beer on my channel.
Yeah.
And I want to sort of break away from that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't intentionally do that when I a couple of months back now. It was these Harper's beers that came out in Aldi.
Oh yeah.
I picked 4 up back to back, and then uploaded them one after the other, and they're probably my highest viewed videos. And that I didn't buy them thinking that
for the reviews, for the views.
But it just happened. I thought it just the bloody Aldi beers. I'll get a couple of bits and that's it, sort of thing. But yeah, they're I think one of them is 200 and something views. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bad beers, they're pretty good beers, cheap as well.
Yeah, I think I've got I've uploaded a few of my reviews of some of the Aldi beers, and I think I've got a few more. Some they were a bit wishy-washy, but not bad.
Yeah.
Nothing, no drain pours or anything like that, but that being said, I've very rarely had to pour a beer away, to be honest. But yeah, I think, and it goes back to that whole idea of accessibility and affordability. You know, those beers, for the price, can't fault them too much. But I think we've got a few comments from people. I have to. I can't have two windows open on my computer for some reason, so I'm having to. I'm not ignoring people, by the way. I'm just.
I've got the group chat along my page, but I've got nothing on there.
Yeah, I think it's primarily Craig and Tony who have commented.
Okay.
Craig says hi. Hi, Craig.
Hello, mate.
And Tony says hi.
Hello, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
I'm not pissed up this week. Last time, Jesus, I did that bloody North now. Fucking hell, I'm steaming.
Yeah. Thankfully, that was my only beer of the night when I reviewed that. Well, no, tell a lie. I had a couple of beers before and a couple of beers afterwards, but I was spacing out through New Year's Eve. And yeah, it took me a good 3 or 4 hours to get through that Nognio, but such a good 3 or 4 hours. I thought that was wonderful beer.
Yeah, I was really made up. I wasn't expecting it to come, to be honest. When they put that post up on Facebook, I didn't think it was going to come. And then I come home from work one day and there was a box lying on the side, and I was like, bloody hell. I was made up by that.
Yeah, because it arrived the week before your package arrived. So I was just, because I was the same as you, because I got no reply from that Tom. So I thought, I'm not going to be too upset. You know, maybe the beers were, spoken for by the time I got in touch. And then I get a knock at the door. And I'm like, oh yeah, those beers that Dean sent. And then I go downstairs and I didn't see the Nognio logo at first. I just saw Homebrew. So I was like, what's this? And then it wasn't until I actually opened up the beer, even though there's Nognio stickers and labels all over the place. And I was like, God, it was just the way it was presented was just... I was like, I've seen nothing like this before. There's the cylinder that it came in, the glass, even though I hate Harry for getting that.
Oh, he's a bastard, isn't he? I mean, he got the pick of the bunch with the glasses, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was toying with the idea to. I've got a similar sort of glass to that Nognio glass that Harry had, and I was toying with the idea of doing my review in that glass because I did it with a pint glass in the end, but I felt like it wasn't the right glass to have with that sort of beer.
Yeah. Well,
a basin sort of style glass would have been better for it. But
I think that's why I ended up doing it in my snifter glass that I bought.
Yeah.
But I also used it because it was a new glass and I wanted to use it as much as possible. But, even if I'd have poured it into the pint glass, I would have probably ended up drinking it a lot quicker, to be honest.
I think that's what I did. That was my downfall, mate.
But yeah, that beer lasted me. And by the time I finished it, I was a bit more awake, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, oh, come on. I'll just have a couple more beers. And surprisingly, no hangover the next day. It's crazy how that happens with some of these beers. You drink them and you think, I'm going to feel rough tomorrow. But
if you did yourself 10 11 pints of Carlsberg, the next day you'd feel rotten, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I'd feel like death. But yeah, I'm glad to see, of all the reviews so far, that everybody pretty much felt the same, that it was just a special beer.
First class beer.
Yeah.
And you did yours. Did you do yours New Year's Eve then?
Yeah, I did. I recorded my New Year's Eve, but it only ended up getting uploaded, I think, last week.
Okay.
And I think the only person, or the only people who I know have potentially, well, I know that James got his bottle, but I don't think he's done a review yet. And if Craig gets his bottle, they'll be the only two people who I know on YouTube who still need to do it. But it wasn't one of those things where I'm like, oh, I've got to get this reviewed straight away. It was like, I'm happy to take my time with this one.
Phenomenal. I need to look into it now. It's sort of opened my eyes to the organised a brewery that I've known about, but just never sort of purchased any of their beers. But maybe I'm not too sure if Beer Gonzo stock any of their stuff. I'm sure that they do. It's just I've always opted for something else, which is probably naughty of me because they deserve my attention now from that beer.
Yeah.
It'd be marvellous. Yeah, marvellous.
I mean, admittedly, the price that they charge for that beer, it's not something.
What's the price for it?
I think it's something like when you convert it, it's about 30 quid, I think. Something like that. It's along those lines. It's quite an expensive beer, and after drinking it, I'm probably a lot more open to potentially picking up a bottle of the version 6.
Oh, look, yeah.
But then again, I'd probably be quite cautious about that. But I don't know. What I drank was one of the best beers that I've ever drank.
Mm.
And I may potentially pick up another bottle. But yeah, like you were saying, it's definitely turned me on to the brewery itself. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where I have seen like a couple of their bottles floating around here in Germany, but I've never picked up for whatever reason. Mm. But I think a couple of their beers you can find in places like Marks and Spencer's and Waitrose and Booths, I think.
Yeah, I've heard. It might have been Tony that mentioned that last week, actually. I think he said Waitrose or an M&S around his way do normally stuff, their core stuff, a pale ale, I think, and a porter or a stout, something like along them lines anyway. So, yeah, that maybe goes back to sort of regional stuff.
Probably.
Because I have noticed it, that my M&S, well, I've got 2 around in my way, and they stock a fair, decent range. But then I can go to, last week I was around the Gatwick area.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a Waitrose down there, and I popped in. Completely different bloody lineup.
Yeah.
I think they emphasise a lot on local stuff.
Okay.
So I found the Gatwick area, they had a lot of, is it Westerham Brewery? Westerham Brewery, something like that. Around that area.
It rings a bell. I'm sure I've seen people review it, but I couldn't tell you one of their beers.
Yeah, that neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Like High Wycombe, there's a lot of the Marlow Brewery. I think it's Rebellion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they accommodate local breweries, and likewise with the M&S in my area, they do a lot of Norton stuff, Oxfordshire.
Oh, nice.
Fair play to them.
Yeah. I think it's good to have that exposure. But yeah, that regional thing now makes sense because in the Marks and Spencers that I've been in, where I've been back in England, have been more around the Merseyside area. So I noticed a lot of, I think they're called the Liverpool Brewing Company.
Liverpool Craft Beer Co.
Yeah, Liverpool Craft Beer Co. You could get a good amount of their beers in the M&S's I've been.
I've heard some really good things about that beer as well.
I think the Liverpool-based brewery that I've always wanted to try is Mad Hatter Brewing Company or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've had anything from them.
Yeah, because
yeah, again, a brewery that I'm aware of, but never actually purchased anything.
Yeah, because I think they do a lot of experimental sort of beers, and one of them is they wanted to replicate those like banana sweets that you could get.
Yeah.
And that just sounds, if done right, I mean, it could be absolutely awful for a lot of people, but it just sounded so appealing to me.
I'm guessing that was like a Hefeweizen style beer then, was it?
I'm not too sure. I think it's more along the lines of a pale ale, I think.
Okay.
Or some. I could be completely wrong about that. I've only seen like the label and a very brief description. But yeah, it's amazing some of the stuff that you see that's in brewing. Just some of these. I mean, everyone talks about Omnipollo and the sort of stuff that those guys are creating.
Yeah.
But I picked. What was that, Dean?
My wife got me some beers, and she got me an Omnipollo beer.
Oh, nice.
It's the Magic 3, their protein shake.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one.
I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, there's no artwork on the bottle as such. There's a little label around the back, just basic information on it. You hold the bottle up to the light, and it is just a haze bomb. You can just tell what it's going to be. Craft Beer Channel, I think he was going to get way back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the only Omnipollo beer that I've had was the collaboration they did with Brewdog recently, the Flat Pack.
Oh, Flat Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was out with family in Liverpool, and we were going to purposely going to like the dive pubs and stuff. And then me, my brother, and my cousin went to go get some food, and then my cousin left. Then we like met up with my dad, and we coaxed my dad to go to the Brewdog bar with us, and we like got him without telling him like a. I don't know. Is it still called Hardcore IPA, or do they have another name for it now?
Yeah, right. I think it still is called that. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but I don't think you can buy it in bottle form under the Hardcore IPA. So yeah, we stealthily got in a glass of that, and then we were just like drinking like whatever was sounded good on the guest menu. And then I just saw that they had cans of it in the fridge, and I was like, I'm too far gone to be conscientious of picking what beers that I should be drinking there. But I ordered a can, had it in the bar, and I don't know, I'd heard a lot of disappointing things about it. Like people saying, oh, this is a really dull beer, doesn't represent Omnipollo at all. But I could still taste the tartness of it. But it wasn't like an unpleasant tartness. And I can't remember much of it, but I just remember absolutely demolishing that beer. So even allegedly one of the worst beers that they've done recently tasted absolutely fantastic. And I'm just gutted that it's really hard to get hold of some of their stuff, even though a few of their beers have started to trickle into places like Berlin, but you have to go to like the craft bars around that area, and it's like
But when you do, I suppose when you come back here and you visit your family, and then you go to, was it the Liverpool Brewdog you went to, you said?
Yeah, Liverpool Brewdog when I was...
Yeah. I suppose that's really. I suppose you're really tuned up for that, though, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I know a lot. The consensus is it's just a BrewDog bar. You can go to so many other bars, but I still really enjoy when I can go into a BrewDog bar, whether it be in Liverpool or in Manchester, because I'm interested in seeing what like guest beers that they've got. I mean, I got to try Dipper 10 from Cloudwater, and that was just fantastic.
Crazy beer,
yeah,
crazy beer.
Yeah. But yeah, the only disappointing BrewDog beer that I had when I was back in England was the Santa Claus.
Yeah, never had it.
It was one of their Christmas beers, and it just tasted like a run-of-the-mill, like German Dunkel beer. And I was like, I can drink this anytime I want. This is really disappointing. But aside from that, I've still got no quaffs with BrewDog.
No. But yeah, I mean, my neck of the woods, it's just completely stale. Completely stale. So disappointing. I mean, all right, we've got our Wetherspoons, so you can get some all right stuff in there, whether it be on tap or at the fridge, cans or bottles. But other than that, it's just it's such a shame. So when I do travel out, and then you come across a BrewDog or craft bar for that matter, you're just all over it because you're just yearning for something different and something better, and you know you're going to get that in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hoping to take the missus away to Vienna at the end of this month, but that's not going to happen now. So we're going to have a long weekend. We're going to Norwich for a weekend.
Oh yeah.
And there's a BrewDog in Norwich, so we're going to pay that a visit. You know, have some nice beers and a nice burger in there. Have a wander about and all that jazz, you know. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And of course, on the way home, via Beers in Europe, I'll be going in there, bloody boot up in the car, I tell you.
Oh God, yeah, you've got to take advantage of
definitely
those situations. That being said, I was kicking myself the next day because in the Liverpool BrewDog, they had is it the Great Divide, one of the Yeti, like Imperial Oat Stouts?
Yeah.
And they had like a big, like either 660ml bottle.
Bomber.
Yeah. And I was like, should I pick this up? And I was like, no, because that won't last long. Because, you know, I'm half pissed anyway, walking around like Liverpool town centre with like a carrier bag with a big bottle of beer in there. But I woke up the next day, I was like, I should have taken that risk. Even though I would have probably regretted it, because I'm never going to see that beer again for a long time. And I've heard quite...
What variation was it? They do quite a few different ones.
I can't remember. I'm sure...
I've had the regular oatmeal. I think it's an oatmeal stout.
Yeah, oatmeal stout.
Yeah, we do like a bourbon barrel-aged version. They do quite a few variations of it.
Yeah, I think it would have probably been the bourbon barrel-aged version.
Oh, that would have been divine.
Yeah. But the thing that put me off was, because they usually have in their like little menus, they have a lot of prices for stuff behind the bar, but they also have the prices for what's in the fridge. And I was like, I don't want to risk like paying, because I knew it would be well over like 10 quid for that beer. And it was like, yeah, under the circumstances, it's probably a good job that I didn't buy the bottle, because it would have probably ended up smashed. But yeah, it was like, it's one of those, did they call them white whales? These rare, like hard to get beers, like Heady Topper and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was like, damn it.
Damn it. Yeah.
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 Well, I seem to have finished my
okay.
Erdinger.
What rating would you give it?
I'd easily give that one an 8 out of 10. Actually, no, I think 8 is a fair enough score. Because
I'll go with that.
Yeah, it's not the best of its style that I've tried, but you know, I could think of much worse. And you know, as someone who doesn't like wheat beers, that was just absolutely divine because it's so flavoursome. And now I'm getting like almost like a very light bitter chocolate aftertaste.
I wish I had another one, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's getting more and more flavoursome as I'm going down. Whether that's because it's breathing a bit more. I mean, I haven't had it in the fridge or anything. It's been in the pantry. But yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And it's one that I'd see myself buying time and time again, to be fair. Yeah, but
if I see this in beers in Europe, I'll probably get in a couple.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those examples where I can't pick too many faults with it, but it's just because of all the other beers that exist that just take the style and elevate it a little bit more. But for a casual drinker or someone trying to get into European beers, you know, I'd happily recommend this to even the most novice of palates, to be honest, because there's nothing there that will put you off or overwhelm.
No, I don't think you'd be overwhelmed by it if you were transitioning from the run-of-the-mill shit to something like this. I don't think it would overload their palates.
No.
They'd be rewarded with a bit of flavour, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think it would bombard them.
Yeah. Because it's like with like IPAs, I can understand when people who aren't used to that, they'll drink it and go, God, that's way too bitter for me. I can kind of understand that viewpoint. But if you were to drink this, it would be just like so smooth. It's just tasty. It's a tasty beer. It's tasty, smooth beer that's, you know, it's full to the brim with flavour, but it's not overwhelming in any way. And yeah, I think it's a wonderful little beer, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll match your score. I think 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair, sums it up fair.
Oh yeah, and it seems from the scores from the big websites, it sort of lines up with what we've said. So Rate Beer says overall it's 84 out of 100, with the style being 85, which I think is very fair.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes see the scoring system on Rate Beer and it doesn't make sense sometimes. Like,
yeah,
it was overall it was a 25 out of 100 beer, but 95 for style. It's like how does that even work?
I don't get it sometimes. We had this debate last week regarding Rate Beer and the ratings. I mean, if you start talking lagers,
they're just completely wrote off straight away.
Yeah. So if you want to look up a lager on Rate Beer, then I suggest you go to Beer Advocate or somewhere else, because you're not going to get a fair analogy of that beer on there, because I don't know what it is. We just don't like fucking lagers.
No, every time that I mean, I think even the which is one of my favourite beers, the Augustina lager beer, which I know Tony is a big fan of.
Yeah.
Going back to that chat, and I think that's got not the best scores.
Yeah, that's supposed to be one of the best lager beers around, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, that for me is definitely my go-to beer, no matter what. Even if I'm in a crafty hoppy mood or something like that, when I see the Augustine, and I've even got a bottle in the fridge just in case I end up going through the other beers that I've got too quickly. I absolutely love that beer. But yeah, you go to like Rate Beer and those websites, which I always take their scores with a pinch of salt anyway.
Yeah.
And I only really go to those websites if I can't find like a commercial description of a beer or IBU count or whatever. And I'll always include those links in my video descriptions just in case people want to go over there and see what other people have said.
I use Rate Beer like pretty much the same as what you said.
Yeah.
I pull off the commercial description for the beer and paste it onto my video, but don't really pay much attention to the scores. I think I have occasionally mentioned on certain beer reviews, Rate Beer gave it a 100 out of 100, but I haven't done that for a long while because I don't want to gauge everything on that one particular website.
Yeah.
But for the information for the beer, I don't think it's right.
No.
Especially for lagers and pilsners.
Oh yeah. And Beer Advocate has an overall score of 87, with the Bros giving it an 89. Again, I think that is sort of in the same area that we are.
Yeah.
And Untapped gives it a 3.7 out of 5. So I think an honest score on all the big three websites, to be fair. And
it deserves that. It definitely deserves that.
Yeah, definitely deserving of that score.
I think if this was non-German, exactly the same beer style, but it wasn't German, I think it'd get worse scores.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if it was mass-produced, I know, Polish beer, it would probably get an absolutely dismal score.
Yeah. You look at like the mid-20s for a beer like that if it was not German, which is a shame. I just think there's...
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully, the people who we usually do the hangouts with and associate with the most on YouTube and Facebook, there's never really any stupid like decisions or viewpoints. Someone might not like the style, but they'll still be very fair to it, which I think is very important. I think because it doesn't help to be ignorant towards a specific beer, because it just doesn't help. Doesn't help the brewer, obviously. It paints a really fake image for people who are interested in that beer, might be put off by stuff. And it's just we won't go into the politics of it all. But very quickly before we finish the review, according to Rate Beer, with 100 for both style and overall, the best Weizenbock is actually an American beer, and it actually sounds pretty damn special. So the brewery is one that I've never heard of, but the Livery or Livery, I'm not too sure how it's pronounced, but Livery. And the beer is the bourbon barrel-aged wheat triple bock.
Oh.
So, that sounds
absolutely fucking amazing, that one.
Yeah, that sounds as craft as it gets.
Yeah. And that's still an active beer then, is it? Was it a retired beer?
I think it may be an active beer. But it probably one of those things where as soon as you look into it, it was like retired like 10 years ago. So it's like, fuck. But yeah, and I think, well, obviously a lot of the beers that make up that top 100 list are German. And number 2, which I think is rightfully so, is the Aventinus from Schweideweisse, which for me is probably the best German Doppelbock that I've tried so far. But yeah, I actually wish now I'd looked to see if this had placed on the list, because I definitely think it's deserving of at least a mention in that sort of regard.
Yeah. And what's that? A top? How many?
What was that?
How many's in it? Top 100.
Top 100.
It's got to be in there, hasn't it?
Yeah. I hope so. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll have to, if I find out, I'll put it in the description of the video for people to check out.
Yeah, yeah, a very good 8 out of 10, guys.
Yeah, definitely an 8 out of 10.
If you stumble across it, pick a bottle up, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was our live review of Erdinger Pikantus. I'm going to be sending a link to a few people. So if you want to obviously stop watching now, then thank you guys for watching. And I'd love to hear if anyone who is watching this has tried the beer, then give us your thoughts and opinions. And yeah, if you want to stick along for a couple of hours, then we'll be opening it up for people to come online. And if anybody who's watching this who doesn't usually join the chats feels like, you know, popping on, having a little bit of a conversation, then just send us a comment and we can get that sorted out. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys, and
cheers.
Yeah, we've been your hosts, Clueless Drinker and Dean from Dean's Beer Reviews. Definitely go check him out. I'm pretty sure 99% of people watching this have already subscribed to him already, but if not, definitely do so.
And same to that fellow as well.
Yeah.
Top man.
So yeah, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
So yeah, let's go send this link out to people.
Yeah, we'll have to decide what we're going to be doing next. I really do like doing reviews with you people. I don't know what it is, mate. I just something instantly clicks with you, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Same here. It just, when we first started discussing this sort of stuff, I was like, oh god, am I going to, you know, what I'm going to be like doing this sort of stuff? But it's just straight away, even that, you know, the chat where it didn't actually go live.
Yeah, was that the first neck oil that we did?
Yeah, that was the first neck oil.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just love this format, and well, hopefully this April I can come down to Hop City.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be great to see you. Like I said in the past, mate, it'd be lovely to meet you in person, have a few beers with you, and maybe do a few live reviews, you know.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Or do a review anyway and can it.
But yeah, even if it doesn't end up going ahead for me, I'm definitely at one point going to be hopefully meeting up with people.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like on a one-to-one sort of basis. But I definitely want to meet up with you guys and actually do some reviews and just basically have a good time, to be honest.
Have a good time, that's what, yeah. Good chin wag. Good, you know, few good beers. What more could a man ask for?
Exactly.
Have you got your ticket booked then for April?
Well, I've got my I've got the Saturday ticket booked.
Okay,
I thought I might as well get the event booked before it's completely sold out, because I could probably either transfer on the ticket or potentially get a refund for it when I know that, I won't be able to actually make it to the event. But if I am coming, it will probably be not exactly last minute, but once I know that I can come, then I'm going to get it all booked. And I'll probably end up paying, a bit extra, but I'm not too fussed, to be fair. Because I'd be just happy to be able to do it in general. Just going to send Tony the link as well. But yeah,
I do like Tony. That's another guy I get on with. He's a cool guy.
Oh yeah,
you're all great guys. Yeah, you're all great.
Yeah, there's only been maybe one or two people who shall not be named, who've been, well, not even one or two, just one person that I can think of. But yeah, we won't go there. God, that was an interesting night.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm much like I'm really enjoying the beer coalition idea.
Yeah. I sent because obviously I missed out on the regular UK Beer Achievers hangout because they did it on a Tuesday, and I missed out on that because of work. So I just thought I'd do a little hangout on the weekend, and I messaged Rod. And I was sitting in my computer and I was doing all the details and stuff. And I thought, what can I call it? I don't want to just put beer chat because that's what I did on the don't want to do that. So I sent him a message. I said, any ideas, Rod? Call this hangout, give it a name. And he just texted back straight away, Beer Coalition. I thought, I love it.
Yeah.
And then obviously he set the group up with that as well, which is great. Yeah, it's a lovely name. I like it.
Yeah. It just opens up so many opportunities as well for like potential live reviews and stuff. Hi, Tony.
All
right.
You all right, Tone?
Yeah, not bad.
Drinking anything tonight, Tony?
Oh, I've been drinking mostly Belgians.
Glad to hear. The best. Nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best.
That's a really good beer.
I don't think I've actually tried the reserve.
I'm going to go and grab a beer. I'll be back in a bit.
So I've got that, and then I've got this.
Republica.
That's my local brewery to me, I guess. Windsor and Eton.
Windsor and Eton. I don't think I've heard of that brewery.
It's the second best thing in Windsor.
And what would the first be, Tony?
I guess that's the Queen.
Yeah. Oh, Lizzie.
Yeah, and then I've got this one.
Ansbach.
Hot Day.
Mm.
It's a pale ale. I've not had it.
Definitely interesting artwork.
Yeah, a bottle conditioned pale ale. I got it at Christmas. Someone gave it to me, but from Southwark in London.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, can't make my mind up. I think I'm going for the IPA reserve, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kicking myself because I didn't actually have one Green King beer when I was back in England.
I've got your favourite downstairs, but again, somebody gave it to me.
Yeah, it's always the case, isn't it? You never buy a Green King beer.
You always say that, don't you?
It was a gift from my mum.
But this one I did. I actually bought I bought one, and I was doing like I was doing this rant on certain beers, and I put this up against a couple of these American style craft hoppy beers.
Oh, okay.
And I just thought, well, if I'm paying £1.60 for this huge bottle, and I had to pay £3 for a very small bottle, and this actually to me tasted nicer. I just thought, well, what the hell? Oh, look at that, Greenwich. That's not so far from Suffolk.
Is that the port version?
It's another port barrel aged. Yeah. It's gone down in price now, so I bought it.
Oh, nice. That was a surprise of a beer when I tried that.
That's a nice beer.
Yeah. I was going to age it, but okay.
Well, on to this holiday beer theme, which is called Lady Porter, 8%. And yeah, when I initially started drinking it, and of course, it's always when I'm doing a review of it, I was getting almost like I was mentioning to Dina, it was like almost like a barley wine flavour profile. But now that I'm drinking it, after drinking the Erdinger, I'm getting a lot more like coffee and chocolate, like you would expect with a porter. And it's weird. It's still a really good beer, though. It's one of these. It's a brewery where all the people who work there are women, which, you know, it's a shame that we have to have this class as a specialty sort of beer. But
back later on, though, for doing it.
Yeah.
So that's, where is it? I've lost it. There we go. That's
What's the IPA Reserve.
IPA Reserve.
Doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, it just smells really nice. It's not like bang in your face hoppy. It's very English style, but
yeah, I think the closest we get to Green King, well, here specifically, is it the Belhaven stuff?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, Belhaven.
Yeah. But,
90 shillings, is it, and all that?
Yeah, stuff like that. But it's like they want to charge like €4 for like a 330ml bottle, and I'm like, I definitely know that's not worth me paying that when I can pick them up from like B&M bargains.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for that.
Yeah, but you know they've got to sell it for probably how much they, you know, had to import it. To be honest,
import it in.
Yeah. But yeah, you can get quite a few of the Hook Norton beers in the local bottle shop. They've got a good range of obviously Brewdog and Thornbridge with some of the barrel-aged versions that they do. But again, it's like price-wise, it just doesn't make sense for me to pick them up.
Well, their barrel-aged stuff, even this side, you're looking at over 10 quid a bottle. So I've got to think what sort of prices you're paying.
Is that the stuff where the artwork's like a stained glass window on the label?
Yeah, they're the sours. I think they're called the sours. I got to try them. Bottle share Harry, because he bought 2 of them from the bottle shop.
Yeah, because they sell a few of them, but I'm like, I'm not even going to inquire how much you're going to charge me for that.
No, big money. Hot Norton stuff's pretty good, though. A double stout, that's a pretty solid beer.
Well, the funny thing is, that's the only place that I've actually seen Hook Norton stuff in person. And I never saw one bottle when I was back in England. But it could be...
It's quite big around here. Cotswolds
and
Stow on the Wold and lots of Warwickshire and stuff like that. They've got quite a big presence. But I think it starts thinning out the further you go. I'm sure there's a few pubs that do their beers, but predominantly around here, just fucking stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for some of the exciting, like Mikella and Omnipollo, to start making its way into the shop. I mean, you can get that stuff in abundance if you go to Berlin, because there's a Mikella bar opening up now. They've got the Brewdog, they've got Steamworks from Canada, they've got Berlin. Just these really interesting breweries. But none of the stuff seems to trickle outside of that region, which is a real shame.
I suppose you could say the same thing with London to a certain degree. That's just a wash with craft beer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic brewers as well.
No.
You know, it seems to be popping up everywhere. You know, you go to, Wimbledon. There's a couple of breweries that have popped up around that neck of the woods. Wandsworth.
I think there was a brewery starting up out Croydon way, Wimbledon, Croydon, that were going to do lagers, but I lost track of them, and I don't know, like a craft lager, but I think, I'm not even sure they got off the ground in the end, but there was a lot of a lot of hype going on for a while, but then I kind of disappeared. But there's a new brewery just like opened up a mile down the road from me. I've not had any of their beers yet, but I've seen them. But they just do keep popping up.
Oh yeah.
It seems to be the new sort of trend around the smoke way, and it seems to be big money as well. I think they're following off the backs of the big boys like Beavertown, Colonel, Blue by Numbers, Four Pure. You know, I think there's enough room for them to enter the market. They've just got to have a decent product to just keep them ticking over.
Oh yeah. Even
I had a beer from Q Brewery. They did had a chocolate orange porter thing then. And that was absolutely bloody lovely. That was. I picked the bottle up from Noble Green Wines. Bloody lovely stuff. And then I looked a bit more into them, and they've got a pretty full lineup. They cover pretty much every style.
There's another brewery. I think it's in Marlow. I've had a few of their beers. I can't think what they're called now.
Rebellion, is it? Marlow Brewery.
Yeah, Rebellion. Yeah.
Rebellion, yeah.
They make some decent beers as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go down there with a bucket, I think, and they'll fill it up for you at the brewery.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
That's the way to do it.
Who needs a bomber when you can have a bucket?
Yeah. Get it.
I think because Noble Green Wines, that's not a million miles away from you, is it, Tony?
No, it's in not Teddington, it's in Hampton.
Hampton, yeah.
They're about 10 minutes in the car from me. They do some.
They have. You go now with a container and they'll fill it up for you. They have certain. I think they've always got Windsor and Eton on there. Guardsman, that was on there last time I looked.
Yeah.
You get like a litre of that for about £4 or something silly.
I think I've had all their beers and I've never had a bad beer from them.
Yeah, solid brewery. They are.
They do one called Night of the Garter. That's probably my favourite English style beer. But it's full of American
Golden Ale.
Golden Ale, yeah. It's full of Citra and I think Cascade in it, but it's a lovely beer. Really easy drinking beer. I've got a black IPA. I've got a black IPA of theirs downstairs.
Dean, sorry to interrupt, by the way, chaps. But I think Tony's already seen this in the comments, but Craig was saying that it was the oak-aged Yeti that was in Brewdog, and it was around 18 quid. Which I would have probably ended up paying that, to be honest.
Well,
and the Nordbrau Ingolstadt Eisbock. That sounds good. Is that on Beers of Europe? Did you get that?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I've ordered that from Beers of Europe, but that I had that about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was in Germany, and I was very drunk, and I thought, oh, I should get that now that I can actually taste it. Because it was like, because every beer like was amazing. It was like, these are the best beers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, just give me a second. I picked up a beer from a brewery in Ingolstadt. Sorry about that. But yeah, I picked this up recently. I'm not sure how well you can see that.
Yeah.
Room 101. And it's a collaboration brew between Yankee and Kraut, who are a quite new brewery in Ingolstadt. And it's a collaboration with Freigeist Beer Kultur and Pirate Brew out of Berlin. And this is basically, it's a 6% pale ale, but it's got like herbs and spices in it, and it's supposed to be, they were replicating like almost like a cocktail, but in a beer form. And I was just like, that sounds really interesting. But the brewery, Yankee and Kraut, they've only got about 5 or 6 beers that they've released since they opened. But all of the ones I've tried have been absolutely fantastic, especially for such a new brewery. So if their stuff ever makes its way overseas, definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, we could keep an eye out for that.
But I won't be drinking that tonight because I'll probably not be able to pick up on any of the flavours of it, to be honest.
Well, you've had a couple of big beers tonight. That Erdinger, I've had that, and it's a nice beer. It's not my favourite beer, but it's a nice beer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are new, like I think you were saying, if you're new to the style of that kind of wheaty style beer, that's probably a way to start with it.
Oh yeah. Because it's just got that little bit more flavour than a regular wheat beer, but not too much. I think it's probably its biggest selling point, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of preferred that to some of the full-on kind of banana-y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got banana elements in it, and I think Peter did as well. But it was a very
like a mellow,
milky, watered down, mellow banana. It wasn't.
Yeah, because you were picking up kind of chocolatey coffee.
Very
smoky tendencies to it, which was nice, I think. And that's what I got from that. I thought, yeah, this is a nice beer. I'm not going to say I'm going to drink 6 of them in a night, but
yeah,
but I think it is a nice kind of beer to start trying those different, getting away from drinking Fosters.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first time me drinking it, and it's one of them beers where it's logged now. some beers you drink it and that's it. You forget about it. It's gone.
Yeah.
That if I see it about again, I'll definitely pick
that up.
It's one of them sort of beers. I really enjoyed it, and it's not a smack bang in the chops flavour beer, but there's plenty going on with it, which I like about it. It's very good beer.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was pretty much the second time that I tried it, and it was actually, I really enjoyed it the first time, but like I said at the start of the review, I wasn't really picking any flavours out purposely or consciously. I was just sitting back and enjoying it. But actually analysing it, I thought that was just a lovely introduction to what is a really quite exciting style.
I guess it's a Dunkel wheat beer, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I like it. I think it's a nice beer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to set the world on fire, but it is what it is. And it's a nice style, good beer.
Oh, yeah.
It exists. It still exists. The brewery hasn't given up on it. It's doing something right, isn't it? You know.
Oh yeah.
It just hasn't got enough. I don't know what the attention is in the UK for that beer. Definitely a new one on my radar. But yeah, really, I'm made up. I've tried it now.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
But as me and Peter were saying earlier on, Erdinger, they're a pretty solid brewery anyway. They don't make rubbish.
Yeah, dependable brewery.
They don't make bad beer. They've been around a long time. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
And they don't really venture away from those classic styles of beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's another one that springs to mind, Peter, that we forgot to mention is Vine Stefana. Same sort of ballpark, maybe.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, regular run-of-the-mill wheat beers and Hefeweizens really don't do anything for me. But just even the regular Vine Stefana wheat beer is just absolutely fantastic, especially for the fact that it's a no frills, back to basics, being brewed the same way since it, well, there obviously are altercations throughout the years, but yeah, even for just a basic high quality wheat beer, it's definitely deserving of the reputation that it has. And then, you know, they do some really interesting variations on the style as well, which, you know, maybe in the future we'll do a couple more live reviews.
Yeah, another one to look at for sure.
Mm-hmm. But it was like I was saying in the review itself, I'd love to do maybe a few more British or American or even, you know, just any beer really, where it's not, because I'm really quite lucky, all things considered, the fact that I can pick these beers up for pretty much next to nothing. So it always like tips in my favour when we do these live reviews, especially when it comes to German beers. So it'd be nice to actually, you know, level the playing field out a bit.
Well, when I went to Costa del Sol last summer, the beer selection at the hotel and in and around was pretty full. But there was a few beers that came to my salvation. One being Polana, that was on a few taps in sort of local bars, which was a nice price. And in the supermarkets, you had cans of Pilsner Urquell, 500ml cans for less than €1. And that again came to my salvation from drinking the all-inclusive crappy lager in the bloody hotel. But them, you know, just do quality.
I find in Spain normally you can come across a German kind of a German bar. You'll go, oh, I'll be safe in here. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
I've got away from flipping, what is it, Tetleys and flipping, I can't bear it.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Lukewarm Boddingtons.
Yeah, perfect beer for that environment.
Just what you want in 40 degrees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, John Smith's. Yeah, a nice John Smith smooth. No, really no.
I'll go for a swim afterwards.
Yeah.
I forget what the bloody lager was in the house lager. What was it? It didn't agree with me anyway, whatever it was. I forget what it was now.
We were in
everywhere.
Yeah. We were in Mallorca, me and the wife, on our last holiday, and it was like, I ended up drinking the Estrella Galicia, and it was like, this was really nice. And then I had their reserve, and I thought, well, this is really nice. And then I had their black reserve, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. And it was like, well, why would you need to go and drink a warm can of Boddingtons from behind a bar when this is available? They're local beers. It's like, just different.
Cruz Campo, that was it. Yeah.
Cruz Campo is very popular with the Spanish.
Yeah, I was talking to, because I managed to find a craft beer shop in Twingarola, and I was like, oh, thank God, decent beer. And I was chatting away, like I was telling her, and she said the Spanish are quite content with just drinking something wet and cold. They're not fussed about the flavours.
Too worried.
You know, San Miguel, you know, speaks volumes over there, and they're quite happy with that. But I suppose those bricks we want a bit more, maybe. I don't know.
We've had a few more comments on the video from the one and only albino rhino.
My word, you're on it.
Hello, Chad. Yeah. We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
Yeah, you can say he's a legend.
Oh, yeah. I always love watching his Beard Weaves United chats. Really enjoy those.
You're a crazy Canadian.
Oh, yes. With even crazier friends.
Yeah, they're all nuts.
Yeah.
All nuts.
So, yeah, I'm going to read through some of these comments. First one, he says, I'm curious if there is bleach in Pikantus, which is a reference to our good mutual friend, Dean.
Yes, who shall not be named.
Yeah. And he says, I'm more of a fan of the banana/orange wheat beer flavours than, say, the just plain wheat flavours or the American wheat. I don't particularly enjoy hoppy wheats. I'm usually the same, but I think the hoppy sort of wheats that Schneiderweiser does, like the Hopfenweizer, especially, which I think they did that in sort of like a collaboration with the guys from Brooklyn Brewery. I think that's a really good beer, but yeah, sometimes the hops can be a little bit too medicinal or like Alka-Seltzer.
You're right. I think you're right.
We never had a hop problem with that beer, did we? So
no, definitely not.
That was. I wonder if he's tried. Did he say he's tried that one or not?
He's not got into specifics, but I'm sure if he's if Chad, you're watching now, you can verify if that was verified that for us. We've only ever had the Pikantus, regular Heath and Dunkel from Erdinger. Come here, they are cheap, easy to drink, and the glasses are awesome. I'll agree to that. Weinstefan, I think its only drawback is that they haven't changed in centuries. Yes, the beer is solid. Yes, it's major drinkable, but don't know if I would count them amongst my favourites. I mean, they're drinkable for some types, and but they are the standard to judge other wheats against, which I completely understand with. I think that's like the bench stone of wheat beers.
Yeah.
And Schneider Weiss Tap X series are dang tasty.
Definitely.
I've only tried the Marie's Rendezvous so far, but that was a
phenomenal
beautiful beer. And sorry, I didn't hear what Dean asked. I have my headphones on, but down low so I can hear the wife harassing me. No, I'm not. That's not a comment to you, by the way.
Does she have an allergy?
No, just a bit of a cold. I gave it to her naturally.
It's always our fault.
Yeah. Although I did get a cold because everyone back in England seemed to have a cold in our house, and I was like, oh, it'll be either when I'm travelling back to Germany, or like a couple of days into being in Germany when I'm just ferociously ill. But I had like a very minor sniffle, so I'm quite happy about that. But yeah, can't remember what Dean asked.
What was that about now then?
Sorry, I didn't hear what Dean asked. I can't remember what you asked, to be honest. We were talking about... I'm not too sure. I've completely gone blank.
I don't remember Dean asking for anything.
No, I think it might have been me, actually. I can't remember. I'm completely perplexed right now.
Yeah, I've lost on that one. We'll have to jog our memories.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come back to us.
If I was being a bit pernickety, I think you both drank that beer out of the wrong glass.
It is a wheat beer glass, Tony.
Yeah, I know, but that beer they actually serve in more of a wine style goblet.
Oh, okay.
Did they?
I never knew that. I thought it'd just be a generic wheat beer glass.
No. I just automatically went Erdinger.
I think I've seen that one served by them in a bar in a different style of glass.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense.
So I think that particular beer, not in general, you always serve it in, like you say, the standardy full thin.
Yeah.
But that's just me being a glass snob.
At least we didn't do the old rub the forehead and kill the...
It is. I saw Dean's paw and I thought, oh, Dean's going to stick his fingers in his mouth.
No, I wouldn't dream of doing it, Tony. Not if you were watching, mate. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get them greasy fingers in that head.
Starting this straight up. Get him in there.
Yeah, get him in there. Yeah.
I can't remember who gave me that tip, to be honest. I think it might have been Rob. I've seen Rob who told me that. Because I'm sure I've seen him do it in a couple of videos.
You should never do it. Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've come to really appreciate, because I think Pilsner Urquell, you're supposed to intentionally pour it with a sizable head.
Yeah, it should have a big head.
Yeah, and then every sip, you incorporate the head with the beer. And I found that a lot of beers taste quite a lot better and feel a lot better when you've got a little bit of the head with each.
Yeah. Because it's the way the Belgians do it with their specific style of glasses for their beers is like, because you need, some of them beers need to have a certain kind of head on them.
Yeah.
think it adds to the experience as well, doesn't it? I noticed on that Erdinger one, when I got to a manageable drinking through the head, like on a 1-2 finger head.
That was about 20 minutes into your review.
Yeah. It was like creamy. I got like a nice, really creamy sort of mouthfeel to it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's probably the smoothest beer of its style that I've tried so far.
I quite like their straight dunkel.
Mm.
I don't think I've tried that. I've walked past that so many times.
That's quite a nice little beer as well.
There's a style of wheat beer that I've never understood, and that is the crystal wheat beers.
Vine Stefano. I've had one from Vine Stefano, crystal wheat beer. I'm sure of it.
I brewed one. I brewed a crystal wheat beer.
Intentional, Tony?
No, I meant to.
Oh, okay.
I kind of meant to, and I did it for a competition. It was like the first time I did the SJ Pour competition, and I was like, did this thing, and I was like, oh, really careful. And people were pouring it out the thing and just shoving all the crap in, and I'm thinking, oh, this is just not the way you should be doing this beer. So I learned never to do any kind of specialty beer in any competition ever again.
Did you do the is it the Black Beers of Christmas?
Yeah, I came fourth in my group.
Oh, nice.
So that wasn't bad, but I thought in my own tastings, I thought my beer was probably second.
Mm-hmm.
But again, people pour beer really badly. But one guy did a review of my beer, and he must have done it like either Christmas evening or New Year's, and he was ratted. He loved my beer. He was like, "This is the best review ever." But the beer that actually won that competition, I actually thought it was the best beer. So that was at least the right. I think the right beer did win that.
Okay, was that were all the people involved on YouTube, or was it on an external site?
Well, yeah, they're not. It wasn't just YouTube. Because I think only about 6 people out of the whole competition actually did a YouTube review of the beers they had. But the guy that won his YouTube name is Steam Beach, and he really does brew some really good beers, because I've had a few of his beers, and every beer I've had of his has been a decent beer. And he uses a 3 vessel brew system.
Okay.
And he brews some really nice beers. He was a worthy winner, I thought.
That's
it was a very rich kind of strong stout. It was really nice. Mine was more Christmassy, fruity, like a pudding.
Okay.
Which I thought was nice anyway, but
yeah,
I'm not the biggest stout drinker.
I always like stouts when they're pretty much on their own. Like I couldn't do like a session of stouts.
No, exactly. I find those big old thick drinks are a bit hard to. For me, those are the beers I want. That's my last beer.
Yeah, finisher.
Finish the night. It's like when I'm in Belgium, I end up with probably a key beer that I know it's a big beer, it's a powerful beer, and I know after that I don't need anything else. I'm finishing the night on a quad, and the job's done, because there's no point drinking anything else after that.
Yeah.
Well, that's very hoppy.
Yeah, speaking of like quads and triples, I decided to pay my local bottle shop a trip yesterday because I've not been there since before Christmas. So I went in there and then it was just the owner, just like sat on the table in the middle, just doing his thing on the computer. And he was like instantly, "Oh, Campo Bavaria have got some new beers released. Do you want to try some?" So I was like, I've got to do the food shopping in a little bit. Cut to like 3 hours later, and we've gone through the whole of their range. And yeah, I made the mistake of, instead of, because he was like saying, "Oh, I can't drink much because I'm working now," that sort of stuff. So we were like having halves of like the session IPA, like the wheat beer, that sort of stuff. And then I mistakenly planned it out where the last beer, which he said that I could drink, was like their take on a Belgian triple at 9%. So it was just me drinking this bottle, and then I was feeling a little bit hazy afterwards. So I had to like do the food shopping. I tell you what, I can't drink that style of beer a lot because it messes without going into too much detail, it messes my system up completely. You know, it doesn't matter how little or how much I drink, I feel the effects of like a Belgian strong ale and like these triple doubles, these quads, I feel the effects of them so much more than like on the level of being hungover. So I've come to the conclusion that I might be somewhat allergic to some of the ingredients in certain beers. And it's just crazy to me because some beers I'm perfectly fine, but I can have a specific style of beer, one or two, and I feel absolutely awful the next day, no matter how much I've drank of them.
My friend, he was drinking Stella. I mean, he's a lager drinker, but he goes, "Oh, I feel so awful after I've had a session." I said, "Well, you would, because it's not even like you're drinking Stella from Belgium. You're drinking the stuff that's brewed here in Northampton or something." So I gave him our favourite lager.
Okay.
And it's just like, it blew him away. I said, "So what you need to do is drink that, because that will not make you ill." But there are beers that will make you ill. Because I just, well, the Mad Monk Lager, as I like to call it, it's just such a superior beer. What is it? Augustana.
Oh, Augustina. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a super beer.
That's a beautiful beer. I adore that beer. As much as I enjoy craft beer, 9 times out of 10, I'll opt for 2 or 3 bottles of that, as opposed to like 1 bottle in a fridge of 30ml size. It's just beautiful stuff.
Yeah. I always have that in my fridge.
Good. Glad to hear.
It's in there. There's always, if I get down to 2 bottles now that I've got left, I have to go and order it. Because there has to be a beer in my fridge, because it just tastes so good.
Oh yeah. Just a beautiful, beautiful beer. Is Rod coming into the chat, Dean?
He put, how long are you guys going to be on? Maybe.
Yeah, I might be on for at the most an hour, maybe.
Yeah, I've got an hour or so.
Yeah.
Me too, because I got American football to watch.
Oh, okay. Going all Jay Terrio on us. Yeah, don't think many people got that. Got a couple more comments from Chad. Crystal wheat makes as much sense as a white stout, but at least white stouts taste interesting. I've only ever had one white stout, and
he's right, I suppose.
Yeah, I felt the exact thing. It tasted more like a pale ale.
Yeah, I have real issues with the white stout.
Yeah.
I think I had one from Durham Brewery, and that was just bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, I even question the concept of a black IPA. It's
yeah. I think that's true as well.
Yeah, but I do like that term that some people use. Is it Cascadian ale or something like that? I've heard a couple of people use that term. And a couple more comments. See, I'm all about stouts / porters, lambics, and other wild ales. After that, probably white, black lagers, then a toss-up of everything. My least favourite, probably a Pilsner or American white. And then he said, allergic to beet sugar, or is that beer sugar? Or perhaps the Belgian farmhouse yeast is just attacking your gastrointestinal intestinal, can't even say that, but you know what I mean, tract too much. There are probably some ingredients in beer that just don't agree with me, but I never get like that with bread. But yeah, American wheat beers, I don't think I've had the best experience with American interpretations of a wheat beer.
Are we talking about
Blue Moon? An Anchor wheat beer. Oh.
Just in general.
Blue Moon in general, I think, is one of the worst beers I've ever tasted.
Yeah. When they put a wedge of orange in there.
Anything when they start sticking wedges of fruit in your beer is
yeah. It says it all, doesn't it?
I'm not sure that's what I really want.
Yeah, I've seen as I'm stuffing my face, I've seen the Sierra Nevada Kellerweisser in Beretta, and I'm like, I know that's just going to be a plain Jane American interpretation of a wheat beer, and I just don't want to even waste my money buying a beer that I'll be like, yeah, 7 out of 10.
But this Windsor and Eton craft Pilsner is apparently has won more awards than any other beer, any other lager Pilsner in the UK.
Okay.
That doesn't really mean anything, but
no, it doesn't mean anything.
So that's it. That's it in the glass. So that looks pretty atypical.
Yeah.
It's got nice kind of light carbonation running through it. Small white head, and smells very clean.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's got SARS and. Czech yeast. They've used a Czech yeast, so it kind of.
It certainly looks the part.
Actually, it tastes the part. I was ready to knock it, but. So if you ever, I don't think you'd get this in Germany, but Dean would get this. Look out for this beer, Dean. Where is it? Up there. It's a Windsor and Eton.
Oh, Windsor and Eton. Yeah, I've had that. It's a nice lager.
That is a nice lager. Very clean.
Yeah, 330ml bottle, isn't it? Yeah, they sell that in the. I looked from that Waitrose in High Wycombe, that new one that's just been built. Yeah, it's alright. It's nice.
Yeah, that's once you get away from the bullshit on the bottle. But that's another story.
I remember that from the Beer Coalition chat, don't you worry. I watched
I do hate bullshit on a bottle.
Yeah. Stone are good at bullshit on a bottle.
Oh, Stone, and my absolute favourite, the Scottish beer.
Would that be brew pub or something?
Brew shit, yeah. I've never seen so much mindless drivel put on a label in my life. I don't know even who they direct that drivel to.
Yeah. As much as I enjoy 90% of the beers that I drink from brew pub.
That's part of my problem. Is it really isn't a bad beer, but because of the bullshit and the stupid marketing that they've really employed, I just puts me off. And I actually think the beer's decent, but I just puts me off.
Yeah, the marketing sometimes can be a genuine killer for me, not in a good way.
It's some of it's just like schoolboy silliness, isn't it? The language used.
Yeah.
I can't see a connection from the jargon that they put on the bottles to the
actual beer.
Liquid inside.
Yeah.
Because the liquid inside is some of their beers, not all their beers, but some of their beers. I mean, one springs to mind. Their Zeitgeist, the dark lager Pilsner. Bloody good beer that is. But like Tony said, it's all the bloody gibberish on the bottle. I mean, I don't dig deep into any of that. If I get a brewdog beer, I'll skim over it. I won't read it because it's just a bloody Bible of bullshit.
Yeah.
I think for me one of the best breweries that does good structured information labelling is Sadler's. I like their format.
Yeah.
It's nice and simple. You don't need to be bombarded with the gospel, do you?
Well, not really. I mean, what I want is I want to know. I'd like to know what yeast strain they use, just out of interest. Obviously, it's always good to know what hops they threw in it.
Oh yeah.
When it was brewed, and when's their best by date. But other than that, they don't need to be put in. We had sex with Elvis's cousin's auntie, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It's just not relevant. Maybe not quite what they were saying. But
no, I don't remember reading that on the bottle and cans.
Yes, because you just ran. Your mind shut down after about 8 lines.
Yeah. It's like the beer you hold in your hands is come on. It's a beer that I hold in my hands. Nothing more, nothing less. But actually, sticking to the theme of stuff on labels, I've got a few more comments from Chad, who, by the way, would be great to have you actually in one of the chats in the future, if it's possible.
Come in.
Yeah.
If you want to potentially pop in now for maybe an hour or so, then I don't know how the best way to get in touch would be, to be honest. But yeah, it would be great to have Chad on the show, because I do really enjoy watching the reviews and there's someone shouting outside, so watch the reviews and the live chats. But he asks, what do you guys want on the bottle? I want date brewed, ABV, ingredients, and nothing else. Don't give me tasting notes or anything like that. And then, well, the best by date is legally mandated here in Canada, but rarely it's beer. It can be good for decades, mattering the style and the way it's kept.
But that is exactly what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't need to be told what my beer will work well with in terms of food, because I can make that decision.
That is the core information, isn't it, needed?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Now, I'm pretty sure I can work out what beer is going to go well with my egg and chip.
Yeah.
I was thinking in the cornflakes myself.
or just throwing it on your cornflakes. That works too.
Milk stout, hasn't it?
Some of the, like, I tried this beer with sort of stuff that I've heard is so ridiculous. Like, try this with a quarter of blue cheese and some crackers, and it's
yeah.
I don't like blue cheese, so no.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of crackers.
Yeah. This floral IPA goes great with fish dishes.
I was in Belgium last year before, and we had these pig cheeks, and they had been like braised in Orval. And so, what did you drink with that? You drank Orval with it, and it was freaking spot on. But the restaurant that was serving it, which was a bar restaurant, it was like, yeah, drink Orval with it, and it was like spot on.
That's a good little beer, though. That is Orval.
There's nothing wrong with that beer.
Yeah, fantastic.
And there was nothing wrong with the pig's cheeks, to be honest. They were really nice.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I think that if you drink beer, you kind of already, after a while, you're pretty sure you know what you're going to, if you're going to eat with your beer, you know what you're going to go down, what road you're going down.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like in a barrel-aged Imperial Stout, I don't really want to eat that with anything, because I want to, if it's a good beer, I want to enjoy what that beer offers. But like a lager can go with anything, really.
All you need with an Imperial Stout is a nice, comfortable armchair.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what you need.
Yeah, and stuff. You could do fish and chips, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a universal drink, isn't it? It'll pretty much go with anything, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes the stuff on beer labels just annoys me. It's just, I don't need to know this. Yeah. It's just putting me off your beer that little bit more.
Yeah, I think that is. You get to that point where you just think, this, stop dumbing everything down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have a couple of paragraphs back about maybe the brewery, whether it's a little up and coming brewery that just wants to sort of put its footprint out there, but just going back to Brewdog, just a whole label from top to bottom of irrelevance, maybe.
Yeah. The worst thing for me about Brewdog was when they were pushing that equity for punks stuff.
Oh.
So you'd have like the paragraph about equity for punks, but then you'd have like a border around the label with equity for punks, equity for punks.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Begging.
Yeah.
They could put less shit on the bottle and just give you a bigger bottle of beer, because damn sure they give you the smallest bottle of beer out of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you only find like one or two of their beers available widely anyway in like a 750ml bottle.
Punk.
Yeah.
Is it Punk and I think are they doing Kingpin now in 750s as well?
I think so, yeah.
There's a couple, but you don't see them in the shops like that very often.
No.
No.
When you go to Tesco's, it's the 300ml bottle that you see.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's barely 300ml.
Right, be right back.
Are we still here?
I think yes, we're still here.
Right, we're still here. Well, best check that. So, what are you drinking now?
I'm on the Greenwich Port Barrel Aged Ale.
Oh, that's the one you
basically
opened
London Porter.
That'll do you for the night, really, won't it?
Yeah, I've actually reviewed it before. It's not a bad beer.
No.
And I mean, I paid £4 for this one. The one that I reviewed a few months back, I paid about a £5 for, and it's a pretty decent beer. 6% ABV, £7.50, £5.
Yeah, it's a nice big bottle of beer. I would pay that. I have no problem paying that for that kind of style of beer. It's properly. Well, you could have aged that as well, no problem at all. I would.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah, I have those. It's like, I'm going to put that away, and it's like, oh, look at that! I'll drink that.
Well, in theory, it has got a bit of age because I bought it in December.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a year.
Yeah.
That's last
year.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's fine. I think that's again another brewery that got maybe shunned a tad when sure if it was AB InBev or Sab Miller that brought them out a while back now. But again, a lot of people sort of shunned them when the buyout came in, and same with Camden as well, Camden Town.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, Christ, the Leffy brand, they're owned by, I think, AB InBev.
Yeah, InBev.
They make really good beer. So it's just because they're owned by a conglomerate doesn't mean they're going to be a bad beer.
No.
At least it also makes it available. Yeah. You have to look at it in a big picture. I mean, all these breweries, they're not there just for the love of making beer. They're also there to make a living.
It's a business, isn't it?
Exactly.
And if someone comes knocking on your door, waving a cheque for a few million quid, oh, hang on a minute, we're craft. We want to just, keep it condensed and sell X amount as opposed to selling millions or whatever. That's just that's how business works. As long as they don't interfere with the product itself, it doesn't matter.
I think that's right. I mean, because these people are all oh, look, oh, it's
come out. It's come out.
Beer porn.
Hey.
That is actual beer porn. Have you reviewed this, Dean?
I have not reviewed it yet, but I'm going to be getting a bottle of that when I get to Beers Europe. Don't you worry about that.
Oh yeah. Well, that'll be a good live review if you're interested.
We should all do. We should do that beer. We should do that beer. We could do a joint review on that.
Have both you guys doing this, and anybody else who could pick up a bottle.
We could do a love-in on that beer.
Oh yeah.
We'll earmark that one for.
Yeah.
I'll be up for that one.
A couple of weeks' time. So maybe say around about the beginning of February, maybe we can get together and do a live review of that beer.
Well, I'd definitely be up for that.
Like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll grab a bottle or two or three.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Oh, they are. I don't know. I just absolutely love that beer.
It's an amazing beer.
Even though I think we're all pretty much going offline around 11 UK time, but if not, then I've got another beer to sit back with, which is from actually probably my favourite German craft brewer, Camber Bavaria. I think a few of their bottles.
Nice label.
Yeah.
Yeah, love the label.
Oh yeah, I think they've revamped all of their labels now. But I think this Love Beer is a collaboration that they do ever so often with a different German musician. I think I'm not too sure who it is this year, but yeah, it's basically a wheat beer, but I think it's got like tropical undertones to it.
Interesting.
But yeah, I probably won't end up opening that, to be honest. But yeah, got to have the ever reliable Augustine.
You just can't go wrong.
And
if
for
you're
me, that
opening
label,
now I wouldn't run downstairs and get one.
that label, I saw Tony had a bottle of that last week.
Oh yeah.
And for me, the label, it oozes traditional, classic German quality.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just the epitome of German brewing for me.
It just looks like a monk that's been in a fist fight.
Yeah, he's got like a bit of a battered eye, but
yeah, he's just beat up. He don't care.
No, he's happy. He's had his beer.
He's had his beer.
Stairs, he had a session.
Straight out. We should do that. We should definitely do that review.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
That'd be awesome. And also, if you could get hold of it, the Doppelbock is really good as well. Yeah, I think it's called the Maximator.
Okay.
And I think it's got like a Pope on the label, if I remember. But yeah, very, very, very good brewery.
Yeah, because I know Beers of Europe, they've got an absolutely fantastic German lineup. I can't wait to go in now. It's bloody, the pictures that I've seen. I mean, I've ordered from them before online, but I've never actually gone there. And it's like a fucking supermarket. It's massive.
Well, Beers of Europe.
Mm.
Yeah, they're just Norfolk, aren't they?
King's Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the homebrew people that I speak to, he works at Beers of Europe, and he picks up so much beer because it's at the end of its date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's got like the most amazing beer fridge you've ever seen. He's got. I was like, where did you get all this beer? Oh yeah, they just let me have it. It's like, this is terrible. I should work there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my main place where I shop, because I know they have they do really good range of Belgian beer, and they do really good German beer. And so that's how I use Beers of Europe.
Yeah.
But they don't give me any beer.
I was just going to say you should get a sponsorship, Tony.
But there are people that have a sponsorship, and I think,
really? Who would that be?
Why have you given that twat a sponsorship? I'm not mentioning any names.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
But it's like, that boy is not worthy of that sponsorship. No. Good luck to him, I say. Good luck to him. Oh, look at that beer.
I mean, a completely wrong glass, but I'm not breaking out a fourth glass.
Still looks all right.
Yeah. It's actually quite. I absolutely love this glass from Schneiderweiser.
Yeah, very different, isn't it? Yeah.
I bought it in. They call it the Cult box, and they released like a little box with 5 of their beers, and you get a glass, some beer mats, and then like little booklets and stuff about all the beers they do. and some of the supermarkets were selling them for like €4.99 in euros, and I was like, gonna get me one of those.
I've just been on Beers of Europe, and they've only got the Helles in at the moment.
Oh, okay.
What have they got? But they've got 352 bottles of it.
Oh, fair enough. That'll do you.
But that everything else they carry is right now out of stock. The Edelstoff, that's out. I've had that. That's a nice beer too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So another few beers that I'm going to pick up while I'm there.
And they do a Dunkel. The Dunkel's out of stock as well.
A Czech brewery called Primitor. I had a Primitor, yeah. I had Harry. He had a bottle of Primitor 10 or 16. Fucking hell, that was absolutely phenomenal. And again, that was Czech macro, but it was bloody amazing beer. And I've noticed they've stocked quite a lot of their Primitor stuff on Beers of Europe, so I'll be getting a couple of bottles of that as well to go in.
I just made an order with Beers of Europe.
What did you pick up?
I've made I'm trying to find. I've lost the bloody thing. I'll log back in.
Yeah, I don't think I do enough online orders, to be honest.
You want to try Beer Jump?
Yeah, the range is fantastic, and I've heard that well, actually, I think I looked up, the postage is really quite cheap. So I have it posted
12 euros
yeah.
in the UK, so I don't know what it'd be like to Germany. It'd probably be a bit cheaper.
Maybe a little bit. Was it 7 or 8 euros? I think I can't remember.
Yeah, but Beers of Europe, there's £7.50 or something, I think, for their delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my most recent order with Beers of Europe. I ordered a couple bottles of Orval, 6 bottles of Papagaï, the greatest beer in the world. I got a Prioris quadruple, that's I think a Belgian quad. The Straf Hendrik quad, that's a delicious beer. The Straf Hendrik and the Straf Hendrik Wild, because I'm going to try and steal the yeast from that bottle.
Nice.
When I do my own. I got a Kloster Andex Doppelbock Dunkel. The Krombacher Dark. The Eisbock, the Paulaner Salvatore.
Mm-hmm. That's a wonderful beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good beer.
Have we done that, Peter?
I think we did that on the first review that we did.
That was with the neck on it, wasn't it? We did a double one.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah.
But that's another beautiful beer.
I think that Paulaner, for a big brewery, still make really good beer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, their Munich Helles beer is...
Yeah, they make a nice Helles. Really nice. Really, really nice.
That's like a very close second underneath Augustina.
I would agree. I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
The Pyraza Schwarzer beer.
It's a good brewery, but I don't think I've tried that one yet.
Yeah, I've ordered a few of those. The Weltenberger Kloster Barock Dunkel.
That's a very good Dunkel beer.
I think that's probably the original Dunkel beer.
I think so.
That's like 150-year-old and hasn't changed in that time.
Oh yeah, the best beer from Weltenberger is either the Hassanbock, which is their Doppelbock, or the Wintertraum, which is a winter beer, which is basically just like a Märzen almost.
Yeah, I've had a few of their beers. I haven't had a bad beer from them.
Mitch and Voldo I had. They're really cool.
Yeah, they're really good brewery. Because I don't think they actually brew at the monastery anymore.
No, I don't think they do either.
One of the big breweries in the city here, called Bischofshof, I think they're the ones who actually brew the Waltenberger cluster beers. And that's like literally a stone's throw away from me. And they're a really good brewery in their own right as well.
I'm still kind of hoping to get out to your part of the world later on this year.
Oh yeah, there's so much, not just beer-wise in Bavaria. Beautiful place, but you know you get to drink some really good beers.
When is that beer festival in your town?
Don't quote me on this. I'll let you know the.
I think that's late summer, isn't it?
I think it's more along towards the end of May, if I remember correctly. When I get the dates, I'll let you know, Tony. But
that could be a good drag a few out there for that. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, because I think it was its second year that they'd ran the festival, and it had been the biggest attended German beer festival.
Outside of Munich, probably.
Yeah, I think they had roughly over the 3 days, was it 18,000 people? And this is just like a university town.
Yeah.
Very, very small, all things considered. And I think this is actually how this beer that I was showing before got brewed, because all 3 breweries were there, and they were like really close to each other where the little stalls were. So I think this came out of the festival from the city that I'm in, and it was really good, really, really good. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be quite a bit bigger than it was last year. Some really great breweries who were involved.
The one I go to the one in Belgium, which is the North Sea Beer Festival in Ostend, and that's going to be the 3rd year. But that's kind of really, it's just become this huge kind of thing. It's like started off quite small, but 3 years in, it's now spread over 3 days.
Oh yeah.
But that's back end of August.
It's a good time for a festival.
That's what I think that we should try and get together in, because if you're over there, we could all kind of do a meet up at that point.
Yeah.
That might be something to look at.
I'd definitely be up for something like that. Like I was saying with Dean before, I want to at least have a few meetups this year with people that I've met through BeerTube.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I think it'd be a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can safely say that the Anspachen Hob Day isn't a bad pale ale.
That's good to hear. I sometimes find British brewed pale ales to be quite samey in both the craft and the more like real ale sense.
I think that I find that they've all kind of, not all, but you get a lot of the bandwagon kind of, we'll throw Citra in it, we'll throw we're going to throw any sea hop we can find, and we're throwing it in there because that's what the Americans are doing. And so, should we copy them? Really? Probably not.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think we forget that we've got perfectly good hops in this country.
Oh yeah.
You know, we have East Kent Goldens, we have Fuggles, we have. There are hops here that it's like, oh, because they've been here forever and they're not the new hops.
I quite like Brown and Cross as well. That's a pretty nice.
Yeah.
I did. Well, it'll be uploaded tomorrow. I did a beer from the Colonel. It was an export porter, East export porter, what it's called, I forget now. And that had Chinook in it.
Yeah.
Really beautiful beer. Really, really nice beer that was.
Not had too much from Colonel, unfortunately. But what I have had, excuse me, it was one of the table beers.
Yeah.
And I think it was
660 bottle.
Yeah, I think I had that in Brewdog. I had their is it the London Raspberry Sour? I think it's called. And that to me just tasted like vinegar. It was just not nice at all.
No, that's not.
Yeah. And then I had one of the table beers. It was the Mandarina one.
Oh, Mandarina Bavaria.
Yeah, that was a beautiful beer. Absolutely beautiful beer. Like, that was like one of my favourite beers of 2016. Just so nice. But that's my only experience with the Colonel. But they seem to make some really interesting and experimental beers.
Yeah, they're always sort of chopping and changing with all sorts of styles of beer, I find. They'll bring out a Mosaic Pale Ale, and then you'll go into the bottle shop the next week, and it's a Citra Pale Ale, and because of their branding, it's just like a plain, it looks like paper, doesn't it, around there. Yeah. And you think, have I had it? Because I was just the same when I picked this porter up. But I didn't. I had the export stout. I've only had two porters from them myself. Don't really get a lot of Colonel stuff around here. But when we do get it, I tend to jump on it because it's pretty solid beer.
Yeah, but that, like I was saying, that sour that I had by them, I mean, it could have been a problem with the keg lines at Brewdog. I don't know, but just awful, absolutely awful. Yeah. I had one of my first Brew by Numbers beer.
Yeah.
And it was one of their saisons, and I can't remember what it was, but that was just a really forgettable beer in general. Not awful, but just, yeah, I drank it. That's all I can say.
Was it lemongrass or something?
No, I don't think it was as exotic as that. It was quite a standard saison from what I remember in terms of ingredients.
I brewed 6 kind of saisons in the middle of the year, and out of those 6 saisons, I think 2 were keepers and 4 I ditched because they just don't always work.
No, I could imagine that's a tricky style to.
So I've got. You can just get them to be too bitter. Oh yeah, I remember I ended up with a lot of empty bottles of beer that I just put away, ditched down the sink.
A beautiful style to have in the summer. Saison de Fond. I quite like the Brewdog Electric India. That's a pretty good Saison.
You can get a M&S do the silly Saison, I think.
Oh yeah,
Not bad. Brooklyn Brewery do a nice Saison.
Boulevard Tank 7. I think I did that last year back in the summer.
You can get a.
And that was
one, I think,
absolutely exceptional.
The Sriracha Saison is a nice one as well. Very lemony. Very lemony.
Is that the one that was brewed for Marks and Spencer's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That was a really nice one.
It's a nice beer. Because, but the Sriracha hop is a very lemony hop.
Mm-hmm.
But I like
it. Japanese or Chinese?
No, it's Japanese. Japanese. Yeah, and it's super lemony, but it's a nice hop. You've got to put it in the right beer.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect in a Saison lemon.
I think it would work in a Pilsner as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I'm going to shoot off in a bit, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I thought I might as well do a little bit of a chat at the end of the review because I'm not too sure if I can make Monday's beer tuber chat.
Okay.
So for my
I'm going to be alright for that one.
Yeah, I might be able to pop in for a couple of hours or so.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on for a few hours.
Yeah.
Because it's a Monday, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If it'd been a Tuesday, then I would have been stuck.
Mm-hmm. But I can't do this like until 3 o'clock in the morning stuff.
No,
I struggle with that.
Oh yeah.
Nice and
I put it down to an 8.
Keeps the hangout fresh, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Before, well, I think I've still got a little bit of beer left, but Chad has just written, anyway, guys, nice listening to you. I understand all of you so much better than my good buddy Ginger Stew, but I gotta go make dinner for the kids. I think everyone can understand each other more than Stuart, as much as we love him.
The only thing I understand from that guy is the beginning, which is hello.
Oh, yeah.
I've lost them.
But yeah, Chad, thank you so much for sticking with us,
Chad.
commenting. Hopefully we can get you online in the future. That'd be awesome to chat with some of our Canadian compadres, because there's so many Canadian breweries that I'm interested in.
I used to live there. I've got two brothers still out in Canada.
Oh, nice.
Vancouver side.
Oh, that's a good place to be for craft beer.
Yeah, it could do a lot worse. Right, well, let me know when we're going to do the review on the special beer. And I've got several in the fridge, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, well, whenever's easiest for you guys, to be honest.
Well, I'm good. Any now that I have a life of leisure at the moment, so I'm all right.
Yeah, I was very sorry to hear that, by the way, Tony.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If you give us a couple of weeks, and I'll pick a bottle up when I'm over there.
Yeah.
And we can get the ball rolling on that, because that'll be fun to do.
Yeah, it'd be good. Right, I'm out of here. But see you later, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Tony.
Hello, mate.
Have a good one. Nice talking to you.
See you, mate.
See you later.
Yeah, that'll be good. That will, Peter, doing that.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we'll have some more beers in the pipeline anyway for future.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, I don't know how you feel on it for doing a double hangout, or like, I mean, beers like 2 beer hangout.
Yeah,
like
I'm
just
happy.
Doing 1 beer and then.
I'm happy to do that. I'm very happy to do a 2 beer.
I mean, I'm just thinking of people trickling in on the back end of it. That's all, because worked all right tonight, because we did 1 beer and then Tony obviously jumped on.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like people could watch the review, and if they don't want to stick around, they can, just stop watching. I'm happy to do that, but I'd rather have our chats online, just in case people we know are just, they want something to watch and that sort of stuff. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the broadcast, and I've still got a little bit of the beer to finish, so we can have a little bit of a chat maybe. But
have a good chat.
Too long. But for anyone who's currently watching or will be watching when this uploads to YouTube, thank you so much. Massive thank you, obviously, to Tony for dropping in. Paul from PA Brew News unfortunately couldn't come online, which is a shame, because I do enjoy talking to Paul. And it's a shame that nobody else could come online. But hopefully in the future we can have a few more people doing the live reviews with us.
And hopefully Rod can get a beer that we can get as well.
Yeah. If he can get stuff like Evil Twin and McKellar for 90 cents, massive thank you to Craig for commenting, and of course to Chad from Alpino Rhino Beer Reviews. Would be great to have Chad online. And thank you guys for watching us talk about beer and listen to us rambling about beer after we've talked about beer. So, of course, go check out Dean down below. And, if you've tried the Erdinger Pikantus, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And, I think that's us for now. So, thank you very much, guys, and we shall see you.
He's just swimming with bow-legged women.
You don't need to say anything else.